Hello, Hack the North. This is ConnenSlate team. Connect plus translate. Our project addresses the struggles that accompany the refugees and immigrants experience in Canada. Every person has the right to be heard and to have proper representation in a decision-making process. However, this process is usually hindered because of the language barrier. Some of the challenges that newcomers face in Canada, for example, is in the healthcare services, where a miscommunication can increase the risk of medical errors. Our app ConnenSlate connects on-call interpreters with newcomers in Canada to overcome the language barrier in accessing essential services. The core features of our app consider two types of users, user A for the interpreter and user B for the newcomer. The general features of the app include an onboarding assessment for better matching services and supports different modes of delivery, like an audio, video, or texting interpretation for accessibility inclusion. Here's an overview of our UI design. The user flow for user A starts with onboarding and finally ends with taking and interpretation requests. For user B, it starts with onboarding, and notice that we have a screen for language selection, which will be the app's language, and finally ends with accessing and rating the interpretation service.
Now the demonstration real quick. Here we have two different Android devices running the same application. That's because we have two different use flows. One for the one who seeks interpretation and one for the interpreter. And here you can select where he's from. And let's just select languages that are basically impossible to translate online. And here he can provide his information and more details about it and where he lives in Canada and how long have he been living there. And for the interpreter, he can select the languages he speaks in Canada and the ethnicities he can communicate with. And after that, he can fill in the details. I've already hard-coded that, so I won't lose much time. And then he can set up his availability. Let's just say he will be available all over the weekend, and then the ways he'll be comfortable with in communicating with the ones who, and then the application matches both the users.
Our prototype follows the sharing economy model, which connects owners and seekers as well as facilitates the transactions they perform. The premium features of the app include getting English or French classes by a tutor who speaks the native language of the user, receiving financial, legal, or immigration advice, getting documents translated, or the app could be financed with local ethnic ads in the area of the user if they choose to. The app could also take advantage of the initiatives launched by the Canadian government to support newcomers and help them succeed in their new lives. The incentives for the interpreters includes the motivation to help people perform their day-to-day transactions. If they choose to, they can receive a recognition for the services they provided, but they can also receive monetary compensation for providing premium services.